Let's give up. There we go. Hello and welcome to another episode of Talkin Balls around the AFI. I am your host, Neil Adams, and joined as always are my lovely co-hosts in Marc Curtis. How are you, folks?
Sweet to the beat, mate.
Sweet to the beat, mate. As always, mate.
As always. Never stops.
Just like to give a wee shout out to our lovely sponsors in Heiberger. If you haven't tried a Heiberger, get on it, because they are absolutely amazing.
I thought you were going to give a shout out to Mark there, who's actually just over my shoulder. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, look at him there.
He's here with us tonight.
Yeah, Mark has a sore head. Wee baba.
That hair transplant he got.
Yeah, the hair transplant he got is really taking its toll on him. So it is.
I'm waiting to see how it goes for him before I get mine. It's not going well at the minute, is it?
I got mine. It's grand.
He was out in the sun too long. That's the issue. Out in the sun too long.
That's it. You know what I
What
mean?
sun?
It's all behind the clouds.
Fucking haven't seen the sun in weeks.
Can tell me about it, mate. It's June, like, and I almost had to put on the heating the other day. Like, we got
My
a new
heating's
wood
been
burn
on.
stove on. Has it?
My heating's on right now. Yeah.
Damn.
Really?
Like
Something
low,
outside?
low, but not here.
When Neil was in the car with me earlier, he had it set on 22 degrees, and it was actually annoying me how warm it was because I keep my car on low all the time. I was like, this is doing my head in.
It was fucking just a nice temperature, and he's sitting there. He just bitches at you the whole time. Oh, you're heating me up here. Oh, I'm so hot because your heat's getting over me. Shut up.
I didn't, bitch, though. I just turned it down, so fuck you.
Yeah, turn it down 2 degrees as if that was going to do anything.
It helped me. It made me feel better about myself, so it's fine.
So all you had to do was open your own window, like, and I could turn my heat up. It would have been a nice compromise.
True, but I
here-
don't want to compromise.
I want to apologise just right now. And if I seem distracted, it's because I've got the Portugal-Czech Republic game on in the Euros.
Ooh.
I'll tell you why, though, because I've not quite got a bet on it, but there's a beer that sponsors the Portugal team called Sagres, right? Have you tried it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice
Sagres,
beer.
what?
It's a nice
Yeah.
beer. They're doing a competition where if you guess the score right, you can win 100 beers. So I have entered that.
And you did not let us know about that.
Is
Somebody's
it
giving
too
away
late to
3
enter,
years.
or where do we go?
Well, the score's still 0-0, so I guess you still have time to comment on it. And it was on Facebook. Comment on it. I don't know what I'm telling you guys. I want to win.
I'm going to put a 0-0.
But I've gone for 3-0. So 3-0
3-0 to Portugal?
To
Damn.
Czech Republic, obviously. Is it Czech Republic is in the league?
Yeah,
Did anybody watch the England game? It was pure shade.
I did. Yeah,
Oh,
it was a bit
I
rubbish.
watched the
Wasn't it?
highlights.
I mean, I got bored at half time and had to turn her off.
He's such a boring manager, isn't he? Though as soon as his
Uh-huh.
team goes up, he's like, let's just sit back and defend the lead. It's a 1-0 lead. You've got some of the
Mhm.
best attacking players in the world.
I
think
think
That's what they do.
I think that many good individual players should be able to bypass that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Even if
Yeah,
they
Just
are
go and do our own thing.
sitting back, they should still be able to like Bellingham did it, you know.
Yeah. But Serbia were just, they had 10 men behind the foot. The ball
Well, they're
every
actually
time,
not a
like.
bad team, to be fair. They're
Yep.
solid enough. Like,
Yep.
And
You know what I mean?
Pickford
Had
made some great
Mitrovic and
saves.
Vlahovic up front. Like, that's good strike
Yeah.
force.
Pickford got, I think it's his 30th clean sheet in 68
Yeah.
appearances as well,
great
which is
keeper.
mad.
But anyway, this is a fucking American football in Ireland podcast. We're not going to sit here and have a conversation about the Euros. You know, that's for another podcast, maybe, if we were up for it. But sure,
Fair enough.
we're
Right.
too busy for even this.
What would you like to talk about then? Was it football this weekend?
There was football this weekend, mate. Aye.
Jesus.
The Belfast Knights played the Vikings, the Giants played the Crusaders, and the Rhinos played the Eagles. So there was 3 games this week.
Yeah. I was at one of them. So it was.
What were you doing at one of them?
I chippy ref one out again to.
Did you get any chippy?
I didn't, no, but I got offered a couple, but they were all sort of just gaslighting me, to be honest. So
Or they were just lying. They were just like, "Do you want to chip me, ref?" And you were like,
No
"Aye,"
chips
and they were like,
involved.
"Nah, we're joking."
basically, they didn't expect to get called their bluff, but here we are.
No.
No, good game. Defenses, basically 2 good defenses against each other, as you can probably see from the score, with it being 9-0. 1 Russian touchdown. Don't know the name of the person that scored the Russian touchdown. and there was one field goal. Once again, I don't know the field goal name, but there was I think it was 3 sacks from the Knights, maybe 4, and 2 or 3 from the Vikings as well. And Suntan made his triumphant return to the Knights.
Yes, Suntan is now at the Knights.
So
Yeah.
he had a good game. Only had one play, I think, where he didn't make some yards. He got back to the line of scrimmage. Other than that, positive yardage all day for him. So yeah,
You think
good game to watch.
Suntan would have went to the Jets, wouldn't you? Like,
Yeah, no, we would have took him too. You know, there's a spot for him. There's a spot for him.
there is a spot there for a lot of players if anyone is up for it.
Yeah,
And
you'll definitely get plays.
100%. Yep.
100.
Especially in this last game. Yep.
Yep.
Because Jason thought he says it's all right. Any players that are there, he'll not say anything about it.
100%. He did say that. Thank you, Jason. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it, bruh.
He just wants a game. So that's pretty much it.
So you were telling me that Finn O'Donovan wasn't quarterback. What's that all about? Like,
Played wide receiver and was class. He had great hands. Every time he caught the ball, he done this wicked spin move, and I don't think he always beat at least one man. So he got a lot of yards after the catch as well. So he played very well.
do you not think, like, I've been calling him a running back for the past 2 years now, and yet he hasn't played running back yet?
Well,
He needs to get in that running back position for a bit. Like,
I don't know why he was playing wide receiver, but he done a good job. Like, and he seems to have beefed up a bit as well. He's put on a bit of muscle by the looks of it from the last season anyway. So yeah, he played very well.
nice. Well, yes, that was a 9-0 score to the Knights. We all picked the Knights, bar Mr. Baldy.
Mr. Hair Transplant.
Mr. Hair Transplant picked the Vikings. We did. You know.
Yep.
So yeah, we know our shit. Just saying. Anyway, on to the next game, where it was a wee bit more controversial.
Why was it controversial?
Because you two guys picked Giants and I picked the Crusaders, and then the Crusaders ended up winning 42-0.
Yeah, I think I was wrong in 2 counts because I think I started by saying it was going to be a close game.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a close game too. Yeah, I just thought that the Crusaders might win it.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a close game, and I thought the Giants would win it. And I was wrong on both counts. It was a bit of a blowout, wasn't it? 42-0.
42-0. I know that was a shock. So I think last week we were all. I think you flipped the coin on this one. Kurt,
Is this the one I flipped the coin on? Was it?
It might have been this one.
Or was
Yeah,
it
I
the
think it
Eagles
was,
Rhinos? Was it this one?
I think it was.
I think it was the Eagles Rhinos, but anyway, you flipped the coin on one of them.
Because I was going to flip a coin on this one too, and then you did it before me. And it wasn't for Wello coming in and saying, "Yeah, there's no controversy happening in the Crusaders." Pick Crusaders. Aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
In fairness, he backed them last week too. I think he came on and said wait and see, and he was
Yeah.
he was right.
Yeah, 100%. Like, no, but I didn't see this here. But this was basically the Giants' first real test.
It seems something clicked with the Crusaders because it's the best performance. I wasn't there to see it, but it must have been the best performance they've had all season. We've been saying it. We expected them to be far better, but they did something right last Sunday past. So,
Yep. Or did you get the scores or the stats?
Did you send them across? Did you? Oh,
didn't
right.
do.
Sorry. Yes, they're here. Right. So for the Crusaders, Rhian Murphy got 3 touchdowns. Phil Tierney got 1 touchdown. Oren Murphy got 1 rushing touchdown. Sydney got 1 touchdown. Corey McNamara got an interception. Jordan threw 4 touchdowns. Craig threw 1 touchdown. And all the extra points were kicked over by James Ahern.
Ooh. Jordan wasn't playing quarterback at one stage too. Wow.
Stuck him in D-line.
Did they?
I don't know where they stuck him talking shite.
Yeah, so where would that leave? Where's that leave us here with the old table?
That's a big game for the Crusaders.
Yeah,
The Crusaders are sitting in 6th with 6 points. Haven't played 7 games.
God, it's tight, isn't it? Like, look at that there. I mean, the Giants are now down to 4th. The Rhinos are now at 10th. My wee dark horse, the Rhinos, could be taking that spot. You know what I mean? The top spot here, like.
They played well as well. I'm trying to find out the fixed table because I haven't got it in front of me.
Had the Giants won, would they have clinched, or would they still have to play the next game?
Giants had a 1, then
I would have moved them up to 11, and
Would have
Wexford
moved
Eagles
them
are
up
sitting
to
there
11.
on 8. So would they have? Because there's only one game left, isn't there? So they would have
so they would have
Would have
made the
clinched.
playoffs then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's all to play for. The Crusaders can't get in. So that's them out. So it's between the Eagles, the Giants, and the Rhinos.
The Rhinos are in.
Yes. No, because the Eagles could get 2 points.
No, because if
I think regardless of what the Eagles do, the Rhinos are in. So it's whether the
Yeah.
Eagles finish 3rd or 4th. I think that's.
Oh.
the Eagles play Giants next, so if they beat the Giants, then obviously they go above the Giants. So basically, they have to beat the Giants to get to the playoffs, and the Giants need to win or get a draw.
Basically, whoever wins between the Giants and Eagles in the last game of the season is in the playoffs. Like, so
And the
where's
fourth
this at?
spot, yeah.
Where's it at? Is it at Giants or is it at Wexford?
Oh, it's in Wexford, so
Oh,
yeah, hard
Beast
game for the Giants.
I would have watched that if it was not anywhere near Wexford. Sorry, Wexford. It's just really long way.
Lovely
away.
part of the world. It's just miles away.
Yeah,
Got
lovely
your
part
new
of the
car,
world.
mate. You can drive down. Oh, journey.
Yeah. I would love to. I'm going to do so much with it tomorrow, Rob. I'm going to go get like fancy V screens and all for it. Just saying, and like and pair my
Go on.
phone to the Bluetooth. Man, I've never had Bluetooth in a car.
Go and sit in McDonald's car park and rev your engine.
Man, I'm just going to sit and chat to people. Whoever's next to me in the car park. What about you?
Did you never get like a wee
Get a wee
Bluetooth
milkshake?
audio jack? No.
I got a wee stupid thing and it never really worked very well. Like,
Fair enough.
so
There's one I used to use was you'd set it to a radio channel that had no other signal to it. It worked really
There's
well.
That's
so
a-
old school.
that's what
Yeah.
I had too. It goes in the wee fucking thing and it sets your channel and you fucking have to. Yeah, it was shit. Like, it was so shit.
Mine was great. So
No.
That's so old school. Like I haven't seen one of them in years.
mine even
Yeah,
had a USB port for charging.
Mine's had that. You must have the same one as me. Maybe you fucking had the same thing. So it did.
Fair enough.
And Booms Hogan,
Anyway.
I thought you were on a plane to Dublin, mate.
Planes
You
on
can give me the
Wi-Fi
info
now.
again because Coach Clad hasn't given me the info yet. So if you've got the info, you work away, big dog, and send it through. Because I am going to talk about your game in literally like with 4 or 5 seconds. So yeah, Kildare Crusaders beating the Giants just opens up that whole 3rd and 4th spot sort of thing. So it's going to be interesting the last few weeks here. But moving on to the Rhinos and the Wexford Eagles. Kurt had the Rhinos. Rob had the Eagles. Mark had the Eagles. And I think this was the coin flip sort of thing, like where I was like,
I think this was the
"Oh."
coin flip one, yeah.
Yeah, and then I picked the Rhinos because Dorian Trainer kicked the ball at me. So I was like, since he did that, I have to pick. Oh, Rob didn't want to be in the middle again.
I hate being in the middle. It's fine. I feel like one hot seat.
Yeah, so I picked the Rhinos, and Kurt picked the Rhinos. Rhinos 26-14. Hard fought game. That would have been like.
It was it ended up being a good bit. Well, two scores obviously, but it ended
Yeah.
up being a lot sort of bigger score than I expected it to be. By in the third quarter, it was only one in it, wasn't it? Or not even.
I think
Maybe
so,
there was
yeah. I think the Rhinos got touchdown at the last sort of thing. You know what I mean? But that would have been a hard fought game. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
two great teams. But that was a must win game for both guys, like going into this, if they want to make
Yeah.
playoffs. Yeah.
100%.
Yep. So Eagles has to beat the Giants now, and that's it.
Yep.
That's it. But
And they're luckily at home. So,
luckily, yes. So the stats from the Rhinos is Ethan Foster had the first 2 rushing touchdowns. Then Fernando Canete scored a defensive touchdown. Got on the end of a block punt by Carl McGlynn before Maria Ajayi scored a monster rushing touchdown. Oscar Fajardo had an interception, and Patrick Lawler had a fumble recovery. So that's the stats from the Rhinos. Sounded like it would have been a good game to watch.
yep.
But it was Father's Day, and I had to drink alcohol and eat loads of food.
I had the ref a game.
I know, mate. It's hard not life for you, hey.
I know, and Chippy ref's riding again this week. I'm out at the Cowboys. Be the
Doing what?
riding again, mate, on the horse.
He was at a cowboy thing. A freaking country and western night on fucking Saturday, and now he thinks he's a fucking cowboy.
Yeah,
See,
boy.
Mate.
Do you see whenever you go to a game, do people be like, "Oh my god, it's Chippy ref"?
Mate,
Have you reached that level of fame?
They don't do it quite like that, but they all come up and you go, "You want the chips?" And I'm like, that was funny the first and second time.
No, still funny.
No,
Still
always
funny.
be funny, mate. Like
70th, 9th, 10th, not so funny.
Mate, I will always be funny. Like,
Oh, don't get me wrong, the memes were fantastic, but think of a new joke. Cowboys, Razorbacks.
No, mate.
Give me a better joke this weekend, would you? Thanks.
No, they're gonna offer you chips.
In
That's
fairness,
what's gonna happen.
I think the memes have been some of the highlights of this season, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll get you down to Waves and get you sponsored. Chippy ref.
Arcade
God
Chippy,
knows where to
Arcade
go for his favorite chips.
Arcade Chippy, all day.
Yeah. Booms Hogan has got back to me. 2 rushing touchdowns for the Eagles, 200 plus yards on the ground. Not sure what we did in the air. A few fumble recoveries, TFLs and sacks, but not good enough, unfortunately. So use that momentum and bring it into the Giants game, and you'll be grand. So what we've got, we're going to move on to week 17. Yes, week 17. Everybody's going, it's week 17. Of course, it's week 17.
Almost there. Almost at the playoffs.
Almost at the end. We have the Belfast Trojans playing the Westmeath Minotaurs this week, boys.
Yep.
It is at the Trojans. So, Robert.
Why couldn't I be ref in that game? I don't want to drive all the way down the creek, Alvin. Yeah, no, I think gotta go Trojans with that game, don't you? Minotaurs have had a hard season. Couple of good sort of games for them, closer than we expected, but yeah, I just don't see them beating the Trojans.
Curtis.
Yeah, same thing. Going to go Trojans. Get them one step closer to the playoffs. That'll get them one foot in the playoffs really if they win that game. So I'm sure they know what needs to be done. Minotaurs don't really have a whole lot to play for, to be honest. So, bar pride.
Survival?
So, yeah.
Yeah, survival.
Well, yeah, survival, but
They have 2 games. The Vikings have 1 game left, and the Minotaurs have 2 games. So if they win their last 2 games,
they can still jump
the
out of it. Like,
Vikings lose,
yeah,
then they can get out of it.
yeah. I think looking at the table, the Trojans, I think it says it all. So yeah, sorry, Minotaurs, but I'm gonna go Trojans in this one.
Yeah, sorry, Minotaurs as well. I'm going to go Trojans as well, just for the simple fact that I think they're better. I think that is just it. Yeah, there's not much more I can say about that thing. Dublin Rebels against UCD.
Gonna have to go UCD.
Wow.
Yeah, they've already beat them once this season, and I just don't see them losing the
This is at
momentum
home?
they've got at the minute. I know, I just don't see them losing the momentum they've got at the minute. So, yeah.
Also, Jason Duddy says he can offer you ice cream instead of chippies, if that's a thing.
Deal? Do it.
Yeah.
If the sun's out like that'd be ideal.
Here, if it's at Craigavon, can you go to like Smoky Joe's, that smoke place in Craigavon?
Barbecue shack.
Get some friggin' brisket, mate.
Holy smokes.
Maybe I'll
that's
show
what
up.
stuff.
Holy smokes, yeah. Get some brisket, mate. Curtis, who do you think's gonna win?
Do you know what? Everything about it says UCD, but just for the sheer crack, I'm gonna go Rebels. I think they can do something there.
Oh, you're such a rebel, Curtis.
I know.
You're gonna go-
going for there.
Mate, I'm going Rebels as well. Because
Ooh.
they're such a close team, and every time they play, it's always close, and it's always who, you know what I mean? I think it's always the home team always ends up winning the last 2 years anyway. UCD was home last time, so they won. Then it's going to be Rebels at home this time, and then they win. It's just like 2 teams that are always at the top. You know what I mean? And I can't see UCD beating them twice in one season. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go Rebels for that simple fact. Yeah. Tonko says, heard Vipers are not turning into Newbridge in 2 weeks. Oh, wow. And
Where's Newbridge? Who's that?
Newforge? Do you mean Newforge? Maybe it's Newforge.
Oh yeah, because
No,
of
they
the
play
7th of July. That game that got rescheduled when we played there.
The game
7th of
what?
July. The Vipers Razorbacks game is getting played in the 7th of July in Newport
Oh,
because it got rescheduled.
all right. Jason says, Holy Smokes isn't open on Sundays.
Shame.
You'll take a day old brisket. Like, I would take a day old brisket too, like, to be fair.
It is delicious food, so.
Then we've got the Cork Admirals against the South Dublin Panthers. Nathan Murphy says they're not going to come to Crusaders. Is Newbridge Crusaders?
Is it? Right, okay,
I don't
could
know.
be.
I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
I think we have Paul O'Donnell in the chat. If Paul O'Donnell wants to confirm or whatever what's going on, let us know the crack. NFL Ireland, how you doing? What is the crack? So Cork Admirals against the South Dublin Panthers. Go ahead, Robert.
This would have been a much easier decision for me before the Admirals absolutely battered the Knights. Obviously, they've sort of found something that's working for them, but I still think at this moment in time the Panthers will win that game. So I'm going to go Panthers.
Wow. Panthers. Curtis.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Panthers in this one too. I know the Admirals have something to play for,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I think the Panthers have been looking really, really good this season. To be fair, and like we said, spoke about before, they called me out on it. Kind of opened my eyes to just how good they've been playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna put my trust in them and hope that they're already in, aren't they? I'm right in saying that.
Yeah, they've
Already
already
in,
clinched it,
yeah. So I still
Yeah.
think they're gonna win that game. But I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think it'll be a tighter game.
Where is it? It's all the way in Cork.
It's in Cork, yeah.
Has Cork lost the game at home?
They drew with the Vikings, and I'm not 100% sure otherwise.
I'm gonna go Admirals. Just because I just think that they just took a wee bit to get ready, to get going, and they've started getting going. And
They lost
Yeah,
to
just-
the Trojans at home as well.
the Panthers have nothing to play for. They're probably like they could win the division, but that's not going to do very much for them. Like, you know what I mean? But they're
If
going to
they win
they're in the
division-
playoffs. Like, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, if they win the
mean?
division, they don't have to worry about meeting UTD or Rebels in the semi-final.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that could mean a lot for them.
Mm.
Could mean we finally get a final that's not UCD or Rebels for once.
Well, you know what I mean? You have to beat the best teams to get to the final. Like,
True. We'd
True,
rather
I mean.
beat them in the final, but
well, that's right. That's very true. That's very true, Robert. So yeah, by that logic, I'm going to go the Admirals for that.
and obviously
Moving
our condolences go out to the Admirals for their loss in their team this week.
Yes, 100%, 100%. Craig Avon Cowboys against the Razorbacks. Go ahead, Robert.
Cowboys, I'm going to use the same one. They're just better. That's it. They're just
Simple.
better.
Yeah. Yeah. Curtis.
Yep, same thing. Cowboys have been looking seriously strong this season in that division. And the Razorbacks, I think it's fair to say, have been a bit of a letdown. So yeah, gonna go Cowboys in this one.
I'm going to do the exact same thing because if anything, the Razorbacks have got weaker. I mean, I heard a load of players went to the Knights. I heard a few players went to the Jets. So if anything, they have got weaker over time rather than stronger. So I cannot see them doing anything against the Cowboys. Like, not even putting up a score on the board. So I'm sorry, Razorbacks, about that. But yeah, I'm going to Cowboys. Now we have a couple of wee questions. Well, a question. Jason Duddy says, do you think there will be any shocks in the last few games of the regular season? And if so, who? In terms of in Premier Division or anything, I think it's just going to be UCD, Rebels, Panthers, and then whoever slugs it out between the Trojans and the Admirals.
In terms of the shock there, I think if the Dublin Rebels beat UCD in the next round of matches, I think that would be somewhat like an upset, you know? Whether it be the most shocking thing in the world, I don't know, because obviously the Rebels are quite a strong team. But just looking at the table and the stats, you kind of expect UCD to win that. So, yeah, I think if the Rebels could do a job there, I think that could be an upset that's on the cards.
See, it's mad to hear that the Rebels winning again is going to be an upset.
No, I think it'll be an upset. I don't think it'll be the biggest shock in the world. Like, obviously, I've backed them. I think they can do it.
Yeah.
I think it'll just be one that you're kind of like, oh, okay, you know.
That's it. In terms of the Division 1, I can't see the Cowboys have nailed first place. Mavericks are going to have second place. And then it'll just be Rhinos, Giants, Eagles.
I mean, it'd be a bit of a shock at this point if the Giants didn't make it into the playoffs based off, you know, being on 9 points, being in prime position. If they lose against the Eagles, they've lost their last 2 games of the season, which has allowed them to obviously drop out of that playoff contention. So maybe that would be the closest thing to a shock in Division 1. But other than that, yeah, no, I don't see anything miraculous happening, to be honest with you.
Who do you think is going to clinch the 3rd and 4th place in Division 1?
I did think it would be the Giants before last weekend and Rhinos, or Eagles it was, sorry. But I think it'll be Rhinos, Eagles now.
Yeah. What do you think, Kurt?
So the Giants, let me see. I'm just looking at the games.
Giants' last game is against Wexford.
Right.
So
it's the Giants and the Eagles then?
Yeah, so basically that's their last game. So if
I
the Eagles win, then the Eagles go in.
So if it's the Giants Eagles, then surely Rhinos already through, because if the Eagles win, then so the Rhinos are through either way. So 3rd place is saved up, because if the Eagles win, the only way they can move into 3rd place is by points difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Rhinos are in. So you're playing for 4th place. And it comes down to that Giants Eagles game, and that's a coin flip, to be fair. Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one to call.
I think the Eagles are going to win that game and win it comfortably, I think.
Well, there's 2 things. I personally feel at the minute the Eagles are a better team, and it's a 3.5, 4 hour journey for the Giants band.
Long ass journey, eh?
Not one you want in your last game, is it? Especially when there's a lot to play for. Like, you don't want to be the team that's going down knackered.
Like, if I was the Giants, I'd be going down on Saturday night and staying over.
Yeah, 100%.
You would have to, like, to make them playoffs. Like, you can't be making that trip at friggin' 7 o'clock in the morning. Do you know what I mean? You'll be pure wrecked going down there.
Hard.
So you want everybody 100%. So you'll be friggin' booking hotel and friggin' staying over right beside the flipping ground and be there for flipping 10 o'clock, ready to rock onto a roll. You know? Because it would be such a story. Yeah, would it not be such a story of them making the playoffs, like, after coming up from Div 2, like?
And losing to the Eagles in Div 2 Bowl.
Yeah. So it would be such a story for them, like, but yeah. Where else are we? Where are we going here with this? Yeah, so who do you think is going to get 4th place in the Shamrock Bowl? Like, we have Trojans on 5 points, Admirals on 5 points, Knights on 5 points, but Trojans have 2 games, Admirals have 2 games, and the Knights have 2 games.
Who do the Trojans? I know the Trojans play Minotaurs. Who else do they have to play before the end of the season?
Well, that's a question, Robert.
Because based off that fixture, I would say at the minute Trojans. Knights have 1 more game left, and they've got to travel all the way down to Limerick to play the Vikings. So I think they'll be the least likely for me to get in.
Trojans play the Admirals on the 29th of June.
At home, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'd say Trojans then would be the most likely to get that first spot.
What about you, Kurt?
Yeah, I think the game against Westmeath gets them 1 foot in the playoffs, and they would really have to drop the ball then not to make it. No pun intended, but yeah, I think
Mad puffer puns, this guy.
I'll go with Trojans for that one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go Trojans just on their last couple of games because the Admirals are playing the Panthers. So like that's a hard game for them. Like that's a coin flip of a game. If the Panthers win, then I would say the Admirals are out. The Trojans are playing Minotaurs, and then so they'll be 2 points ahead of them after this week if things are going the way I'm saying it, and then they have to play each other. So
yeah, and Cork have to travel all the way to Belfast. So
yeah, although Cork did beat them the last time they travelled up last year.
I know, but the Trojans have already travelled down to Cork this year and beat Admirals at home. So.
Yeah, no, I'll have to go Trojans myself. I just feel like they're in the best position to do so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's us for another week of around the AFI, guys. Sorry, it was so short, but you know what I mean. Like there was not much to really talk about. To be fair, like So, if anyone has anything else to ask, say what.
I haven't won 100 beers yet. There's that.
Oh, for God's sake,
I know.
Curtis.
Has there been a score yet?
No, still not each.
Fair enough.
I knew it would have been 0-0. I should have put my money on that.
Should have done it.
Post that, mate. I check it out where this post is. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for coming to watch. We appreciate all your support, and we'll see you next week for another episode of Around the AFI.
Yeah.
Bye.
Cheers.